4 is Switchblade with Norbert Takawira. 5 is Super Lumina with Henny Grayling. 8 is African Love Story with Ryan Munger. In the Oven, turning to go down. Next out on bread is horse number 6, Chateau with Wesley Marwing. Karatu turning to go down. Followed by Super Lumina. 7 is Explorers Club, JP van der Merwe. And number 1, Chum with Sherman Brown. Those are your runners for race 3. Off time is 20 past 2. Let's send you downstairs for the preview.
Welcome back to Borrowdale Park for race 3, the Coca-Cola Maiden Plate over 1,800 meters. We've got a field of 8 runners going to post here for the third of the afternoon. And my selections here, I'm going number 7, Explorers Club, to beat number 2, In the Oven. Then number 1, Jump, and for 4th, number 5, Super Lumina. Maiden Plate over 1,800 meters, and this is the second leg of the pick 6, and one of the fancy runners got through the first leg, so most of you should still be in the pick 6. And here I like number 7, Explorers Club from the Gokkenturzy yard, this well-bred 7th Rock filly out of Alexandra, who was very much a 2,000 meter horse. And this horse, I think, has been looking for this distance. The further they go, I think the better for her. And she ran not a bad race last time by Piece of Pizzazz, running around quite a bit at the end. And the fact that now they're going 200 meters further, she gets an extra kg and a half age allowance in this race, and suddenly now it makes a kg and a half bet off in the weights within the oven. It's okay, 53 and a half kgs compared to 55 last time. That length and a half in the greenness, I make the horse to beat in this race. He's suddenly come well on the race in the form lines with Piece of Pizzazz, because you've got Piece of Pizzazz here, you've got Chum, In the Oven, Karatu, and Super Lumina all in that form line there. And with the length, with 1.5 kgs better off, it puts her right there next to In the Oven. And I think with experience of racing, I think this time, and extra 200 meters, I think this time she could very well reverse the tables on In the Oven and the other runners in the race. And I make her my first choice. For second, I've gone with number 2, In the Oven from the Gokkenturzy yard. Craig Sackett gets the ride again. Very unlucky last time. He got his whip knocked out of his hands. And she ran a cracking race. I think she'll definitely suit it for the extra 200 meters. 1,800 will suit it down to the ground. And drawn 2. And I think very much it could be a match race between Gokkenturzy's 2 runners, Explorers Club and In the Oven, to fight out the finish. But it doesn't stop there. For third, I've gone number 1, Jump. I think he's better than his last run behind Piece of Pizzazz. Things didn't go right from that day. Got caught wide. And you go back his 2 previous runs over 17. And definitely a horse we're looking for further. Look at his pedigree and Ideal World out of a Strike Sparky mare. They're definitely bred to go 2,000 meters. So I think the 1,800s will suit this horse down to the ground. And I'm expecting a big run from this horse. Much better than his last start. Ignore that. I think he's better than that. And if we go back to his penultimate start, he was well beaten by Kevin Barry. But Kevin Barry looks like a smart 3-year-old, because he came out and won again. And one of the fancy runners for the feature race this afternoon. So you can't leave Chum out to play. Definite runner here in this race. Number 4th, I've got with number 5, Super Lumina, who now gets the service of Henny Grayling on board. And this filly also a bit better off in the weights by 0.5 kg with extra 6 allowance going a bit further. And she wasn't far behind the other runners. She hit the front a bit early last time and was very green looking around. And I think she'll be suited to extra 200 meters and given a bit of a chance. And I think that this could very well turn the tables on the other runners in the race that finished just in front of her in the Piece of Pizzazz form line. And I think she'll be right there in the finish line fighting it out. Obviously, you got to respect number 3, Karatu, as well from the British Start-Off yard. Chase Marchand gets a ride. On the penultimate start, he's got to improve a bit to beat horses, but on his last start, it was much better run. going down by less than half a length to Piste de Passage, finishing just behind in the oven. And I'm pretty sure you'll find another honest run from Karatu be there fighting out the finish. But I do think that 1 or 2 might still just be able to get the better of Karatu, but obviously respect this AP answer gelding. I think those are the 5 principal runners in the race. The other horse that is still unknown is number 4, Switchblade. Had his first run behind Word Game 2 weeks ago. And Word Game didn't run a bad race in the novice plate, only finishing 5th, I think, so not far off them. This horse could probably need experience, though, still. He's still very dumb. Second career start. He's going to look for the experience, see him running on, maybe back end of trifectas and quartets here for number 4, Switchblade. But I do think very much I'm going with number 7, Explorers Club here to win the 3rd race of the afternoon. From number 2, In the Oven. Then number 1, Chum. For 4th, I go on number 5, Super Lumina. But obviously, Karatu will be right there as well. I think those 5 could be very much another blanket finish like it was 2 weeks ago. And I think we're looking forward to a very exciting maiden 1800-meter race here. Very competitive. And they're off in about a minute's time. So they're about to call the roll. And we'll see you back after running of race 3.
Runners now being called into line for race 3 at Borrowdale Park. It's the Coca-Cola Maiden Plate over 1800 meters. Explorers Club is the first one to face up. Gone on. African Love Story is up next. Switchblade. Chateau. Super Lumina is up next. Karatu. Karatu's ready. Super Lumina goes on. Chum is left. Face is up. Chum is halfway in. Just to close the back gate on Chum. We look set. 1800 meters to race. And away they go. Broke off in a pretty decent line as they make their way down the back straight. Karatu was very speedy early on, goes on to be one of the front runners. Chum has gone up to the head of affairs, now leads by half a length. From back in second was Super Lumina. Dropping in behind that was Switchblade in the yellow cap. Then a length back to In the Oven, who's sitting mid-division in the green jacket. Dropping in after those then was the white cap of Explorers Club, and Chateau is the tail marker as they make their way towards the 1100 meter marker. It's Chum out in front, leads by a length and a half. From back in second is Karatu. Dropping in behind that in the black jacket was Super Lumina. Then came Switchblade in the yellow cap. In the oven, still sitting mid-division, African Love Stories making ground in after that. Then came the two runners in the pink. That's Explorers Club in the white cap and Chateau, who's at the back of the field. Got about 1,000 meters left now. Out in front is still Chum. From back in second, Karatu, no change in order. The black jacket is Super Lumina. Being driven up now in the yellow cap then was Switchblade. Dropping in after that is In the Oven, African Love Story in after that. Then came towards the back of the field Explorers Club and Chateau. They hit the home stretch now. It's still Chum who's virtually led from the start. Back in second position is still Karatu coming under pressure. In behind that was Super Lumina. African Love Stories down the center, racing within behind that Explorers Club. Chum is still the leader. From in behind that Super Lumina coming on the inside of runners. Look out for In the Oven, who's making a flying late finish here on down the center. It's Chum from Super Lumina. In the Oven being driven along down the center. Chum still with the advantage. In the Oven is coming in hot pursuit. Chum, In the Oven, and Chum gets there. Very tight for second between Super Lumina and In the Oven, and fourth position will go to Chateau. Number one on the card, Chum with Sherman Brown for Kirk Swanson. Does the business in race 3. Was coming under hot pressure from In the Oven, who came with a late rattle down on that middle of the course, and will be in a photo for second. Chum definitely the winner. African Love Story, Super Lumina rather, with a black jacket, might just get second on that picture, ahead of In the Oven, and then came Chateau for fourth. So that's the way it stays at Borrowdale. That's race 3. Gate on Chum. We look set. 1,800 meters to race, and away they go. Broke off in a pretty decent line as they make their way down the back straight. Karatu was very speedy early on, goes on to be one of the front runners. Chum has gone up to the head of affairs, now leads by half a length. From back in second was Super Lumina. Dropping in behind that was Switchblade in the yellow cap. Then a length back to In the Oven, who's sitting mid-division in the green jacket. Dropping in after those then was the white cap off Explorers Club, and Chateau is the tail marker as they make their way towards the 1,100 meter marker. It's Chum out in front, leads by a length and a half. From back in second is Karatu. Dropping in behind that in the black jacket was Super Lumina. Then came Switchblade in the yellow cap. In the oven, still sitting mid-division, African Love Stories making ground in after that. Then came the two runners in the pink. That's Explorers Club in the white cap and Chateau, who's at the back of the field. Got about 1,000 meters left now. Out in front is still Chum. From back in second, Karatu, no change in order. The black jacket is Super Lumina. Being driven up now in the yellow cap then was Switchblade. Dropping in after that is In the Oven, African Love Story in after that. Then came towards the back of the field Explorers Club and Chateau. They hit the home stretch now. It's still Chum who's virtually led from the start. Back in second position is still Karatu coming under pressure. In behind that was Super Lumina, African Love Stories down the center, racing with in behind that Explorers Club. Chum is still the leader. From in behind that Super Lumina coming on the inside of runners. Look out for In the Oven, who's making a flying late finish here on down the center. It's Chum from Super Lumina. In the Oven being driven along down the center. Chum still with the advantage. In the Oven is coming in hot pursuit. Chum, In the Oven, and Chum gets there. Very tight for second between Super Lumina and In the Oven. And fourth position will go to Chateau.
Chum has won the third race of the afternoon under a very enterprising ride from Sherman Brown. He took it to the front and he had to throw the kitchen sink at the end. But Sherman, obviously a horse that relishes the 1800, so you took no chances, made them stay, and it worked.
Yeah, you know, if you go back to last run, I was all wrong. Jumped out the fence with me. I couldn't get any hand here without chasing around the whole field. So maybe that was why she ran such a disappointing race last time. But today, Kirk said take her up there and work hard. Which I did. As others sort of joined me, I always picked it up again. So it was a win full of merit. Good luck to Kirk and good luck to the team.
Obviously a staying type, so the 18 would have suited him, and obviously being able to gallop helped him.
Yeah, definitely. Being up there and with the course being as it is today, I think going to the front with him was the right move.
You do realize you beat the boss's horse, huh? You beat the boss's horse, Debbie.
It's all right. I don't really mind. At least I had a winner for Kirk.
Well done.
Cool.
Kirk, well done. Nice finally get off the mark of this horse. I mean, he's been battling for a while to win the race, always there and thereabouts, and I think the distance was the right thing.
Yeah, Thomas, these ideal worlds, they stay all day. Big thanks to John for the support as always. He's given us the time with the horse, and he's strengthening it up, and over these sort of trips, he'll always be competitive, and he's run a couple of places going into it. I always said to John, he's not the kind of horse you want to win the maiden straight away because he needs experience and needs to learn how to race. Big thanks to Kylie Shepherd, she's done a lot of work on this horse, a few niggles with him. Big part of our team, and to the whole team back home, to the grooms, to yourself and Debbie, to everybody, big thank you, and to John Comedies, stalwart of our yard, gives us the time with the horses, let us do the right things by them, and that's why they end up in the winners' enclosure at the end. Thanks very much to John.
I thought a gutsy performance, and ironically was kept honest by the stable companion right to the wire, but good to see them both fighting out the finish.
Yeah, 100%. They're both older horses that have their niggles, and nice to see them fighting it out and keeping each other honest there. I think if Chum had been on his own, he probably stopped, and having the other horse there pushing him along, it just kept him going. Well done to Moritz Fontaine Stud, Jessica Slacker, and Guy Murdoch for breeding this one. I think this horse belonged to the grooms. Well done to them, and hopefully we can keep on with them.
Well done.
Thanks.
They have Kirk Swanson, the winning trainer, winning owner, John Comedies. John, congratulations. Lovely pedigreed horse this, and obviously distance is what he's been crying for.
Yeah, no, look, anything that Jessica breeds got to be well bred. Look, he's not going to win everything. He's a nice horse. Sorry we beat Debbie. And Sherman ran a great race.
Yeah, I thought a good ride from Sherman, dug down deep and kept him going to the wire, and full of merit.
Yeah, absolutely. I was also very happy with my other horse, 3-year-old. Not bad for first time around the bend.
done on the winner. Congratulations.
Thanks very much, Thomas.
From John Comedes, the winning owner of the winner here, Chum, and John Comedes, a big part of the player here in Bardale Park, owns a lot of horses and many yards, supports the game, and it's good to see him on the winners box here. And Chum's been knocking the door for a while, and today on a very, very strong ride and urgings from Sherman Brown, gets up on the line to win it here at the third of the afternoon. Second place went to number 5, Subulumina, under Henry Grading. He fought down to the line, the 2 stable companions, heads up, heads down, and almost got the better of Chump. Good run there in second from Subulumina. Gutsy performance there. Third place went to number 2, In the Oven. Once again, got going very late, flying at the finish. A customary running on strongly at the end. She's honest, she pays her bills, and a good run there in third place. And fourth place went to number 6, Chateau, having its first run for the Cock and Jersey yard. Good run from her in fourth place. And I think that kind of performance, she could very well notch up a maiden plate somewhere in the future. But once again, well done to Chum, to John Comedes, Sherman Brown, Kirk Swanson, for winning the third of the afternoon.
1,800 meters to race, and away they go. Broke off in a pretty